Welcome back to another reaction. Today we're going to be checking out 5 things that are common in the US but don't exist in Germany.
What could this be? Um,
Payable, you have to pay for water?
oh,
Just kidding. That's like the big thing everyone talks about is you have to pay for water. It's like a running joke kind of. We get it. We've been explained why the water you have to pay for it at restaurants.
yeah, makes sense. But also, we don't drink alcohol, so
I like my free water.
yeah, let's have free water.
Let's get into it. Here we go.
I'm currently going back and forth between the US and Germany quite a lot, and these 5 things are totally common for me whenever I'm here in the US, but don't exist in Germany.
Interesting. What is it gonna be?
Hello, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I've been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio, on and off since 2016.
Go from Munich to Ohio. Oof.
What even goes on in Ohio?
Weird stuff from what I've heard.
I came back from Germany in October, and while I was there, I made this video where I talked about 5 essential everyday things at my parents' house in Munich that are totally common in Germany, but that I never see in the US. So today, I want to talk about 5 things that are common here in the US that aren't really a thing in Germany. Number 1 is air conditioning. Now, of course, the technology of air conditioning does exist in Germany, and you can buy air conditioning units in Germany, but having AC in your home is very uncommon. Whereas here in the US, I'd say it's pretty standard. Most houses will have what's called a central HVAC system. HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So you'll have air ducts going through the entire house, Luftschächte in German, with an opening, vent in every room usually. Sometimes they're at the floor, like right here. Sometimes they're in the wall, or even in the ceiling in some cases. And this system is used for both heating and cooling. In the winter, the air will typically get heated up with a furnace in the basement before it gets blown into the air ducts. In the summer, the air will get cooled by an AC unit that usually sits outside like ours. Ours also comes with a free outdoor cat. Her name's Bella. Houses from the 1960s, 70s, and later were usually built with these systems, but in many older homes like ours, the HVAC system had to be added later, like it happened in our case. Or instead, many people use portable AC units like this one or these window units. You'll actually see these in a lot of windows in the US, especially in areas with lots of old buildings or low-income areas. Those houses then often have radiators for heating, which is also how we heat our homes in Germany. In total, over 90% of American households have some type of air conditioning, and it's also standard in commercial buildings and businesses, including grocery stores and even schools. In Germany, on the other hand, only 30% have any type of AC at home, and even in commercial buildings, it's not something you can really expect. Newer buildings.
That's crazy.
Where we're from, everyone has the dang HVAC.
Everyone. You need it for the winter because it gets so cold.
I mean, if it's getting -30 outside, you're gonna need some heating in there, and then it gets pretty hot, you know.
Yeah, it does.
From in the summertime, but I would say there's a decent amount of days where people turn off their AC and just open the windows.
That's only in the spring or the fall generally. In Minnesota, there's probably like maybe a 2 or 3 week time period in the spring and the fall where that's possible. And then it gets too hot or the bugs start coming out and they start like making their way in the window somehow.
Yeah, the dang buggers.
Buildings often do have AC, older buildings not so much. Grocery stores in Germany usually only cool the fridges and not the entire stores. And when it comes to AC in schools, knowing Germany, those will be the very last places to ever get AC.
Oh,
I mean, they also still use overhead projectors. I think the only place...
We were like confused when we were in like Southeast Asia, obviously very different climate, but we saw like Southeast Asia, the schools aren't AC'd here and it's so hot. I'm like, whoa, that'd be crazy. Our school had heating, AC, all that stuff.
It didn't work the best. It was those times when like it was started getting hot earlier than expected and they didn't turn it on right away. So it was like a spring day and it was like 90 degrees in the school. It would just be so hot.
Also like certain classrooms might be like super cold in the winter. You gotta keep your sweatshirt on or whatever.
Interesting.
Where AC is truly common in Germany is in cars. Reasons for this difference are, of course, the different climates. Large parts of the US get extremely hot temperatures, while summers in Germany are a lot milder. But I also think that construction styles and insulation play a role here. To break it down, this is what it looks like when a house is being built in the US typically, while this is what you'll see in Germany. Lots of brick and concrete, which on hot days usually keeps the heat out a little bit better than American homes do. And those window units don't even really work with German windows, unfortunately, even though more and more Germans are getting a portable AC unit like this one. And speaking of windows, number 2 on my list is window screens. Most windows in the US
Wait, so if you don't have AC and you don't have screens, how many bugs fly into the house?
Yeah, like say it's a hot summer day and it's nighttime and it's kind of getting hot in your place, so you're like, I need to let some air in here, you know? So you open it at night and you have your lights on inside. Are bugs not just gonna fly in?
Maybe the Minnesota mosquitoes are just so crazy.
There's a lot of mosquitoes in
it's
Minnesota.
not like that in Germany, maybe. But yeah, I mean, even the day, the flies are gonna be flying in all the time.
But once you've opened up the actual window part, there's usually a second layer with a bug screen. I think the purpose of this is self-explanatory. It's to keep all of the insects from coming into your home when you open the window. What's cool is that you can slide these open too if you want to, or even take them out altogether. They're also great when you have indoor cats that like to sit by the window, like ours, because you can open the window for them without having to worry that they climb outside. Now, of course, the concept of open the window for them without having to worry that they climb outside. Now, of course, the concept of bug screens exists in Germany, but most windows in Germany don't come with a pre-installed bug screen like this one, which is very shocking to many Americans when they travel to Europe for the first time. My parents actually did install screens in front of some of our windows when I was little, but they were permanently stapled to the window frame, so it wasn't quite as practical as this. When you look for it, though, you'll see that there are, in fact, more professional solutions for bug screens that work with German windows, but I personally have never seen any of those used in real life in Germany. Not quite sure why, to be honest, because even though, of course, we don't have as many insects as people in Florida do, for example, we still have enough for this to be worth a shot. Did you know that there are also lots of movies and TV shows that you can access here in the US on Netflix and other streaming services that aren't available in Germany, or that are released with a huge delay there? Growing up, when a new season of one of my favorite
We're just
TV
gonna
shows
skip it. If you want to support her channel, you can check out our link down in the description below and click her VPN sponsorship. Next up, we have something that many American households have in their kitchens, in their sink to be more exact. Now, we don't actually have one, but I figured I'll just stand next to the sink anyway for effect, because number 3 is, drumroll, a garbage disposal. I had never seen those before I moved to the US, and I thought they were absolutely genius when I first saw them, even though I've since heard that there are also many reasons that kind of speak against them. But first, what even is a garbage disposal? It's basically a shredder that's built into the sink drain to shred things like food leftovers so that they don't clog the drain and can be conveniently flushed down with the water. There's usually a switch next to the sink, like a light switch, that turns the garbage. It's convenient unless you're in a horror movie and something falls in there, then you have to stick your hand in there. And
then somehow it gets big enough to get your full body thrown through there, you know.
Disposal on and off. It's super important to never ever stick your fingers in there, by the way.
I'm looking forward to learning if you will get your arm out of there before Lily gets to the garbage disposal switch.
Now, even though we don't have a garbage disposal in this house, I did have one in a few of the places that I lived in before, which actually kind of lines up with the official statistic that says that about 50%, so half of American households, do have a garbage disposal. Meanwhile, in Germany, they're actually illegal in most municipalities, and they're very uncommon in most other countries of the world too. Now, there's a whole debate about whether or not flushing shredded food leftovers down the sink drain is bad for the environment and for the plumbing. However, I'm not an expert on that, so we're not gonna get into that here. I just wanted to bring up that there is a debate, but either way, what's for sure is that it's very convenient. And we're staying in the kitchen because one item that's very common in the US, especially here in the Midwest, and that many Americans desperately miss when they move abroad.
Microwave?
Yeah. Or...
Oh, ice maker?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Is
Oh,
this.
ranch. Wow.
I was
we
way off.
We got bamboozled there.
Way-
We were on the appliance thing. It's just ranch.
Way off.
Ranch. Yep, you heard right, Americans. Ranch is not a thing
like how
in the
she's
rest of
saying
the world.
ranch,
Even
like
in the
the
UK,
ranch.
which in a lot of cases is a little more similar to American culture, it's not something that you'll find on restaurant menus or in people's fridges, and I've really never come across this in any country other than the US and Canada. Now, those of you not from the US are probably wondering, why is she holding a bottle of yogurt dressing in the camera? Well, it is in fact a type of salad dressing, even though it doesn't really have that slightly sour taste of yogurt that you might expect. It actually took me a while to get used to the flavor
Yeah,
when I
pretty
first came here because my brain didn't really know which
Not one of those
category
people
to
that
place
just
this.
douses everything in ranch. Like,
Yeah.
if it's like on something, I'm like, okay.
People will put ranch on pizza here.
Everything. They'll
Put ranch on.
dip chicken wings in it. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's usually better if it's like Chipotle ranch or something like that.
But don't worry, I've since come to love and appreciate it. It's made from buttermilk, mayonnaise, onion, mustard, herbs, and a few other ingredients. And it's not only the most popular salad dressing in the US, it's also commonly used as a dip for things like chicken wings, veggies, and even pizza. Most American pizza places
I don't
give
know
you
about
a
that
selection of dips with your
I don't know
pizza.
about. I don't know
but
if I
it's also
support that American Midwest pastime of dipping pizza in ranch.
I don't know if I've ever tried that. It's interesting.
And honey on pizza too is a sin. I don't like that either.
The hot honey.
Screw honey
also
on
just
pizza.
become a flavor in the US. So there are ranch flavored chips, for example. There's
I like
ranch
those,
flavored sour cream, and there's even ranch flavored
flavored sour
seasoning in
cream?
powder form that people put in
Ranch.
all
If you're getting ranch flavored sour cream, why don't you just get like ranch at that point?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
kinds of things like marinade, chili, or even on popcorn. That's a whole other culture shock, by the way. Now, I'm sure that if you look for it, you can buy ranch in certain stores in Germany, and some American-themed restaurants might have it too, but it's not a common thing, and most Germans have never heard of this, let alone tried it. So if you ask for ranch dressing at a German restaurant, they'll probably have no clue what you're talking about. Okay, we moved into the car because the last point on my list has to do with driving, particularly
We watched a Europe versus American car
Eurospec
videos.
I don't know, it was like the different lights or something.
Well, I know one thing for sure: miles per hour.
Yeah. I remember that one mentioned that American cars label everything with words rather than pictures.
That could be it.
driving too fast, which you should not do. In the US, it's very common to see cop cars sitting on the side of the road, even on interstates, watching the traffic. They'll be on the shoulder, in the median, and often even hidden behind a curve or a bridge. And if they see someone who's
The dang.
speeding or
What are they
driving
doing?
suspiciously or committing some other type of traffic violation, they'll go after them and pull them over for a traffic stop. And if you actually did something wrong, they might give you a ticket right then and there, which can actually get pretty expensive. Speeding tickets, for example, are usually over $100 in the US and can go as high as several $100s. And I think most people, even outside of the US, have probably heard of cases where a traffic stop escalated and ended in a tragedy. That's not the norm, of course, but it does happen. Now, I've never actually been pulled over myself in the US, but I have been a passenger when other people were pulled over before, and I will say it's definitely intimidating, so I honestly really hope that I will
That's what we've heard in other videos, that the American police, when they pull over people, way more intimidating. It's way more of a tense situation than it is in other countries.
They might have a hand on a gun or something. I mean, we're from pretty small cities, 10,000, 15,000 people, and they got cops posted up all the time, everywhere.
So
patrolling.
annoying. So annoying. It's like a game in the US almost. It's like all the drivers are trying to speed and the cops are trying to catch the speeders. It's like a game, and you never know where they're gonna be hiding. You gotta expect if there's like a hiding spot, you gotta slow down. Some people even signal to each other on the apps, the driving apps. They'll be like, speed checkpoint coming up.
If you see could tell what headlights in the back were from the same car that the police car would be in. Sometimes it would just be a normal person driving the same car model, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm fine. But then other times it's staying copper.
You see a cop pull up right behind you, and you're like, ah, nuts.
Time to drive very respectfully.
Very slow. You slow down, like you're getting like a mile per hour under the speed limit, and the cops were like, come on. And then they just speed off 10 miles over because they don't care.
Ever get pulled over and never have that experience, because I think especially as a foreigner who's not a citizen, I'd get really, really nervous and probably forget all about the smart tips about how you're supposed to act.
If she wasn't from Germany, she'd probably get arrested and deported to El Salvador.
Yep, yeah.
A traffic stop and just freeze. Now, traffic stops do exist in Germany, but it's not the main way of how speeding violations are tracked, and seeing a cop on the side of the road like that is not common at all, especially on the interstate, aka the Autobahn. I'd probably think that the cop car broke down if I ever saw that in Germany. Instead, speeding is typically monitored with radar cameras that are set up temporarily in certain spots, or sometimes even stay there permanently. We call them Blitzer colloquially, so flashers, because they take a picture of you when you're going over the speed limit with a bright flash, and then you'll usually have a letter in the mail a few weeks later with the fine, which used to be relatively low in Germany, but they actually raised them a few years ago, so now I think they go anywhere from 50 euros to several hundred. But when I was young, some speeding tickets were only like 15 euros. What are some other things that are
cares if it's
totally
only
common in
15
the US
euros?
but don't really exist in Germany or in the country you live in? Let me know in the comments below. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm actually already going back to Germany in about 2.5 weeks for Christmas, and then I'm going again in the spring. So let me know if you want me to
We
film
tried some
any
German food recently.
We did. You want to watch the video? Check out. We'll try to link it in the pinned comment below.
Oh yeah, but these are very interesting things we learned that the US has that Germany doesn't.
What did you think of the video? Let us know. Recommend some more videos we should check out from Germany, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.